Hello. Okay, I've got like a major lighting thing going on Instagram, so hang tight a second here. Wow, hello. Where's the dimmer switch? Oh, no, that's brighter. Okay, that'll have to do because I don't want it to be too dark. Oh, ring light, I love you. Okay. Hi. Hello and welcome to another marketing training. I'm going live every week talking about how to improve your marketing and different things about being an entrepreneur, my struggles, my wins, things that I'm learning on my journey and sharing with you. So this is the place to be if you're an entrepreneur, if you're passionate about what you do, and you want to make sure that you can continue on this journey by being successful, owning your own business, and being in charge of your own schedule. Because ultimately, I know that's one of the reasons that I do this, for sure. So I've been talking a little bit about some things related to mindset and some of the softer skills when it comes to being an entrepreneur and being able to sort of have that perspective to look at your business in a certain way in order to maybe get through some of the harder things and to master some of the skills that you need to be an entrepreneur. And as I said, this is a learning journey, so continuous learning is so important. And the best way to learn is to teach, so that's what I'm doing. And today I wanted to actually let you know that the entire month of August is going to be dedicated to a little bit more tactical stuff, and it's all around the theme of improving your marketing. So yay, that's just what you want, right? And today's topic is inspired by an event that I went to last week, which was The Power of Success, hosted by Tony Robbins. And if that is not somebody who is on your radar right now, who you're listening to at least occasionally, I recommend that you change that. He is incredibly impactful, has made a huge difference in so many people's lives in like 42 years of being in the business that he's in. Lots of people think of him just as a motivational speaker, but really he's in the business of helping people have better lives, and who doesn't want that, right? So in doing so, he's built a huge business, as well as has some kind of leadership stake or financial stake in at least 54 companies, which are doing about $6 billion cumulatively every year. So, I mean, the guy knows what he's talking about. And so I'm actually going to give you some of his insights today, which are around the two things that you need for business success. He says, whenever I go into a new business that I'm either starting or that I'm taking over for somebody else, these are the two things that I want to know. Number one, who is the ideal client? And number two, what is the irresistible offer? So when it comes to your business, you need to understand those things primarily. Your ideal client, your irresistible offer. So here's how I would break that down so that you can make that assessment about your own business. Start with step one being your irresistible offer. What is your offer? Because you need to know what that is. It comes from you. You're the one who's creating it. Thanks for all the hearts over there on Instagram. You're the one who's creating the business, so you're driving that. It's not about what does somebody want, so let me go and create that thing, because that's not going to work out as well for you as if you're passionate and driven about the thing in the first place, and then you go out and you put that out into the world. So your irresistible offer. My notes have gone dead. Give me 1 second. Understand how your offer helps people. How does it make their lives better? What does it do for them? And just know what those benefits and tangibles really are about it. And what is it that makes it unique? So how is it sort of different from what else is out there on the market, besides the fact that it comes from you, which is in and of itself something that makes it unique and is a completely viable answer to that question. So Then the second piece of that is, okay, so you know what your offer is, and just to be clear, the offer has to be the thing that you actually sell. The product or the service, it's not just your personality, which is part of your brand, and that's a whole other conversation. But it is the thing that somebody can buy from you. And then you go to who is your ideal client. So who is the person or a group of people that you built your business for, that you wanted to help, that you wanted to serve, that you knew that you had something to offer to them? Who wants your product or service and will tell all of their friends about it? So they're going to become your ambassador, your third-party reference, and that kind of marketing, word of mouth, is worth more than anything that you can pay for or put out yourself, of course. So who are you supporting with your mission, the thing that you really wanted to do? And remember, you can't reach everyone or please everyone or be compatible with everyone. I don't know if it's a Canadian thing or a woman thing or both, but we tend to try and please people and change things and say, oh, well, I want to see what they want and then maybe I'll do that. That's not the best approach, because then you're really going to be disconnected from your own purpose, and without a purpose, that doesn't give anybody else, your clients or customers, anything to attach to. So I don't recommend doing it that way. And so then dig deeper into your ideal client, right? You want to understand what they want, what they need, and those being two different things. Things that people want aren't the things that they need typically, but you're able to give them what they need when you know what they want. See how that works? And then you have to understand what their deepest desires are and how they want to feel. Like, so what is it their goal to feel, and how do you help them with that? Is it around feeling more confident? Is it around feeling successful, feeling secure? How can you give them those feelings through your offer and your product? And then really critical is understanding what they're afraid of, because we all have fears and we're looking for somebody to help us with those things. And truly, that's probably what people are going to pay for more than anything else, is a solution to their fear. So understand what that is for your ideal client. Okay, so now an example. And so if you've heard of the company Zappos, it is a shoe company and they sell shoes online. And this company, like potentially most, I'm not going to say all because I'm sure that your business probably didn't start this way, but like many successful businesses, Zappos was started in a garage in San Francisco or something like that. Anyway, in the year 1999, which coincidentally was just before that thing called Y2K. So a guy's like, let's sell shoes on the internet. And all of his friends are like, that seems a little bit crazy, because what's the issue there? Well, you can't try them on. People are going to want to try on the shoes. Oh, okay. So he's like, okay, I got this idea, shoes on the internet. And I know who my ideal client is, because it's women. Because you probably know this. Women have essentially, I'll say this for myself, an irrational relationship with shoes, wherein I feel like I need to have many pairs of shoes, and they all have a specific purpose, and they all give me a different feeling when I wear them. Yeah, so it's something on my goal board is to have like a pair of Manolo Blahniks, which my friends are about $1,000 a pop. Yes, my husband thinks this is irrational, and sure, maybe you do too, but that's just to give you the context of why women are the ideal client for the shoe company. And so he says, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to create an irresistible offer. We're going to pay the shipping for them to try on the shoes, and if they don't like them, they can send them back. We're covering the shipping. Investors are going, wow, you're crazy. You're going to lose all this money just in shipping. Well, they were already losing money, so it was kind of worth the risk at that point. And it turns out that that offer was what built their brand up to the point that only 10 years later, Amazon bought them for $940 million. So it worked. Okay, so step one, what is your offer? Step two, who is your ideal client? And then step three, I would say go back to your offer and tailor it more to your ideal client. So see how what the difference is there? The offer initially is what you want to create for who you think you want to create it for. Then you start understanding who these people are more. Then you adjust the thing that you're creating to be more compatible with them, to be more what they want, and in this instance, to serve them better. If you have that mindset of making sure that you're serving and over-delivering and adding more value than anybody else in the marketplace, that is how you win. That is how you build relationships, you earn trust, you create loyalty, and your business can thrive. So really do that work to understand who the ideal client is, and then tailor it a little bit more. A couple of more ideas around that. Always ask yourself, how can I serve my clients better? And then whenever you're making a decision in your business, think, does this serve the people that I'm trying to serve? And if the answer is no, perhaps don't do it. If it's yes, go, do that thing. This is a result of falling so in love with your ideal client that you are so committed to making their lives better and adding that value to them that they will believe that and feel that from you and stick with you through your whole journey of your business. And coincidentally, this whole process leads to what? Further understanding your ideal client. So you know your product, you know your client, you tailor your product, you learn more about your client, you tailor your product, you learn more about your client, and it's a cycle. And eventually you are really, really narrowed in on who your ideal client is, and that person may evolve over time. It's likely not going to be a different person, but the person may have grown as part of how your business has grown. Unless you start a whole new business and you have a whole new set of clients and you do it again. So one more example for you, just to drive this home a little bit more. In 2008, we had this thing called the economic downturn. Well, at least that's when it started. And what was happening in the automotive industry was humongous automotive companies were going bankrupt and were getting these massive government bailouts, right? Like to the tune of billions of dollars. I think what I read this morning was in the US, they actually, the US government actually gave like $80 billion over the course of the next sort of 6 years, 2008 to 14, to the automotive industry, because these guys were bleeding out. But somehow, in that exact same time frame, in the year 2008, Hyundai made money. They, in fact, grew their revenue by like 20%. How did they do that? Well, they understood that their ideal client was afraid of one thing more than anything else, and that was losing their job. Like, who wants to go and buy a new car and put out that money and that risk and those monthly payments or bi-weekly or weekly or whatever they are, and then lose their job? So Hyundai came up with a program called something along the lines of a job loss protection. I think they might even still do this because it worked so well at that time, where they said, if you lose your job within a certain amount of time of buying one of our vehicles, you can bring it back. And whatever conditions and the fine print are there, but whatever it was, it worked really well because they understood the fears and they got rid of them. So I just wanted to give you that, to tell you that understanding your ideal client to that level is going to make the difference for you in delivering exceptional value and service and being successful with your product. So I want to hear from you in the comments. What is your offer and who is your client? And I'm going to stick around and watch you type those in right now. And I'm also here for the next 15 or however long. If you have questions and you want to ask them, I will do my best to answer them. And also, since you're watching right now, feel free to drop in a suggestion of a topic that you'd like to see me cover as part of my month of improving your marketing series. What do you want to get into? Do you want to get into really a lot of detail on something? For sure, I'm going to tell you next week we're going to cover just how to choose the right marketing strategy and the things that you need to consider when you're building your marketing plan. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Oh man, my Instagram lighting is really blown out. I apologize for this like glow on my face. I guess that's why I use the Facebook one as my recording. Okay, fancy straw. Yes, you'll note this is a reusable straw. It is good for the environment. Does not kill turtles. Just a little like, that's actually totally a relevant point regarding branding, because you can see so many companies now are going to those compostable straws, or just trying to get rid of straws entirely. And I mean, the compostable straws are 100% terrible to use because they are just like made of like paper and disintegrate in your mouth after about 2 minutes. So if you don't just chug back your drink, you really can't use it. So I mean, whatever, they're doing it for environmental reasons, right? Because their brand's aligned with not destroying the environment. So the choices that you make based on your brand. Listening from the highway. Oh, don't blame me if you get a big data bill. Sorry. Thanks, fan club. Okay. Oh, paper straws are terrible. Yes, we can agree to that, Mark. Especially with kids, because they still need a straw, because you're not going to just take the lid off that root beer and be like, here you go, drink this in the back of the van. Root beer everywhere. No, it's not happening. So now I actually have, only because I got this as a gift, maybe, you know, if I thought about it a little more, I would be conscious and go and buy something like this, but I have a reusable straw in my purse for these instances when I go to A&W and get a paper straw. They chew on the straws. Yeah, now we're talking about kids and straws. So anyway, that decision, interestingly, would not have been made based on ideal client. I don't know. I guess it kind of is, because if you look at A&W as an example, I think watching that company evolve a lot over the last, say, last 5 years or whatever, and where they're going in terms of, you know, free-range chicken and Beyond Meat, and bringing those kinds of things into their restaurant, went to really diversify them and put them into a different category of fast food. They're trying to appeal to people who have those different values about making sure that, you know, animals are treated properly, that we're not having, that they don't want to have any hormones or anything like that in the food that they eat. And likely those same kinds of people probably care a lot about the sea turtles and the oceans and the straw thing. So that all makes sense that they're making these decisions based on understanding their audience. And certainly they're, in doing that, they're changing who their audience is from who they used to be. So good. Bringing the straw conversation back to relevance of the topic that we're talking about today. Okay, just realized that I have to actually touch my screen and scroll to see the comments that are coming in. So sorry if I haven't. I wonder if I have to do that on Instagram too. Hello, there's my arm. Oh, okay. Instagram's gone. Okay, so thanks for joining me. I realize there's a little bit of a delay, so I'll wait just one more minute in case there's any other questions or comments. And then I will see you next week on Wednesday, same time, noon o'clock, Mountain Time. I think we should call it noon o'clock. That's better. Or high noon, as some might say. Okay, good stuff. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.